Horribly off topic, lots of fun. Take the plunge, ride the waves, have some fun, spend the day, at least your Monday, on listening to this podcast.
At
Horribly off topic, horribly off topic, horribly off topic. Have some fun, or sort of fun. I don't know.
Dun dun dun.
So,
are you having fun?
This is the oddest place we have recorded yet.
Yeah, in the men's bathroom at the. No, we didn't. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I think there would be odd acoustics.
There would be odd acoustics. It would also just be odd. There is within eyesight of where we're at a men's bathroom that is big enough for two.
And two guys just came out.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Only one.
I mean, there is also a park out there, but it would be kind of windy
and chilly.
Chilly. It's like 50 something degrees out right now. There is a theater behind us, but I'm paranoid that like if we went in there, I just finished a rehearsal in there. If we went in there, that like somebody would walk in the middle of us talking about our dicks.
We could have
separately, not together.
We could have recorded in the green room.
We could have, but I think they're right now. The president. What's her title?
President.
I said her. The head of the organization that runs this particular theater. When I was leaving rehearsal, she was in the midst of like some loud filing and things like that. And,
in the green room?
In the room next to the green room, in her office, which is next to the green room.
Oh.
Yeah. So instead of all of those things, we're recording in my car.
Yes.
We're recording and not in the back seat.
No.
Because you were...
I was sort of adamant that we wouldn't sit in the back seat because... just because it would seem like we were just kind of making out in the back. Next to this park in Portsmouth.
Yeah. There's some things that have happened in this park or next to this park, I'm sure. In that bathroom, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm surprised that bathroom. I thought in the winters and the springs used to be closed, but it's been open quite a bit.
So you have taken many a dump in there.
I've taken many a leak because me and my big gulps. But I have yet to, one thing I'm proud of with the big gulps is I have yet to get into a traffic jam so bad that I had to empty the big gulp and then empty myself into the big gulp.
There was one time that I was on the road and there just wasn't a place to pull over or whatever, or it wasn't a place to like whiz.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it in public and then just risk getting
the indecent exposure.
Yeah, which is the dumbest thing because you become a sex offender if that happens. And what? Who hasn't in their life urinated in public?
I'm not aware of anybody.
Okay, so good. I'm glad that you pulled everyone.
Pulled everyone. I asked them all.
At least for men. I mean, I imagine it's a little bit more tricky for ladies.
Yes.
But
when they were children, when they were babies, they probably urinated in their diaper, right? They urinated in their diapers. That's in public.
But they didn't have their little
little
baby parts out
they did
to
not.
show.
That is true. This is true.
Oh, there's a boat going by.
There is a boat going by. Not a big boat, little boat, like Gilligan's Island-sized boat. I mean, that could be like what those guys.
There's a storm coming. I hope they're not going on a 3-hour tour.
Oh,
right?
hey. Or they're going out swordfish fishing.
Swordfish fishing?
Swordfish fishing.
Or you could just say sword fishing.
Sword fishing. Nah, that's different, right? Because swordfish fishing is fishing for swordfish. Sword fishing would be fishing for fish with a sword, wouldn't it?
No, I thought it would be fishing for swords.
Oh, that's right.
All right, so I'm going to go back to our little opening this week.
Yes.
If you are from the New England area, and here's us right off the bat getting local
for you.
There's a place, and it's not far from where we are right now, called Water Country.
Yes.
Now, every year, especially on, I forget what the station is called now, but it was WNDS for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which was the New Hampshire television station that had this guy Al Caprillion on it.
Oh,
and I think he's
good
still
old
on.
Weather with Al.
I think they still they still have him on there, like whatever they have the station. I think it's My
TV or something like that.
I think so he still does the weather like in the evenings. But they like, especially on that channel, there would be an ad like almost every commercial break, like when I would watch The Simpsons as a kid,
right?
In syndication on this channel, and holy shit, it would be Water Country every in the summertime.
Yeah.
And they
in
never
the summertime with what? No,
I've done that in karaoke a couple of times. Speaking of which, I went and did.
Did you finish Water Country, or are we getting horribly off topic?
Whatever. But yeah, Water Country is one of those places. I've never gone there.
I've never gone there either.
But I've seen the ad for that place more than I think any other ad in my life.
Yeah, I would.
So go on the YouTubes and check out the ad for Water Country. It hasn't changed in 25 years.
No. Which is straight. Like they must have filmed people in timeless bathing suits for it not to, when you look at it, does it really?
I don't know. I haven't watched television in a while.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
So Friday night, I did some karaoke.
Okay.
And I was there was this lady, this older woman, that wanted to dance with me
while you were karaoke.
No, while I was karaoke. And I don't want to seem like I'm being pompous here, but I'm not going to say where I was, just in case people are like, "Oh, you're an ass." Normally, I go out to a place and do karaoke. I'm a mid-range person that has a decent voice.
Got it.
I'm not usually the person that has the best voice there.
Nor am I.
But this particular evening, I was.
That's an interesting time.
Yeah, and it was just, and I don't know, there was just, and then someone I was there with was singing a song.
Yes.
And I was just sitting along, watching and cheering and being happy.
Yeah.
And then, this old lady kind of grabs me by my hand and it's like, "You're going to dance with me." And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Did she try to put the moves on you?
She kind of did. I was just dancing, and she's like, and I'm like, "I'm not much of a dancer," and she said, "Oh, just follow me," and I'm like, she's hammered, and I just have no rhythm when it comes to dancing, so we're fucking.
You're fucking.
Like, no.
That progressed fast.
We were not fucking.
We're not okay.
I did not fuck this lady.
You did not fuck this lady in the middle of the karaoke place.
No.
That would be indecent exposure.
Definitely. But I don't think they would have minded because I did such a good job singing.
Right. You got a free pass.
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know.
Just taking some
taking some pictures?
Taking some pictures of us doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast in the car. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm dancing with this lady.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of like, she's like, "I'm a dance instructor. You're doing so good." I'm like, what is happening to me? And of course, the song that was there, and I'm like, well, I'll just wait till this song is over. And it was Bobby McGee. And I didn't realize how fucking long that song was. And it was like, "Oh, la 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 la." I mean, she did a good job singing the song.
Yes. But it's a long song.
It's a really long song.
And this was somebody that you were with that was singing the song.
Yes.
And
she's just sitting there, like every once in a while, looking at me and chuckling at the fact that this lady is just kind of all handsy on me.
Yep.
And she was just like on my hips, and she was just like, I'm surprised she didn't work.
She didn't grind a little bit.
I was just, and there was this guy that I think she was with, and he was kind of giving me this look,
giving you the evil eye.
I don't know. It wasn't an evil eye.
Oh wait, was it the eye that like you could be the third, like you could be the one they brought home, like you spice things up a little bit? He's got a great voice.
I don't know.
You know what they say about a guy with a great voice?
Yeah. What is this guy? Is he getting in the trunk?
There is a guy right now who, in the car in front of us, has opened his trunk. He is sitting down in it. I think maybe he's changing his shoes. Yeah, but for a second, we thought he was about to put himself into the trunk and perform some sort of erotic act in there, which would not be indecent exposure.
But that's not the person that was there. At karaoke.
Well, not the.
Is that a crowbar?
I thought it was a cane.
No, that's a shoehorn.
Oh, I was gonna say I can't see over the iPad, which is recording.
He's got a very long, fluorescent green shoehorn.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And he's kind of taking off his shoes, and he's taking off his sneakers, and putting on his dress shoes.
The dress shoes. He's going out for a night on the town.
Yeah, painting the town, night of the town.
Painting it.
Just like me with this old broad.
With this old broad and her partner there, who were like waiting to. They were hoping to take you home. I hope you realize that. That's what was.
I think that might have like been what happened. She gave me a little peck on the cheek afterwards. She's like, "You were great." I'm like, "No, I wasn't."
She was just waiting.
And so yeah, I kind of sat on the inside of the booth.
Yeah. What do you think they did that night at home when they didn't get to bring you home? Like how did they make up for
I don't know, like some Cialis, or what's the other one?
Viagra?
Viagra, maybe.
Viagra?
A Cialis Viagra cocktail.
Yeah. They were like,
and then it was Boner City for them.
Boner City for him.
Yeah.
And she was just thinking of you.
In my, I guess, sexy ass. I have no idea.
She's closing her eyes. She's just thinking, oh yeah.
So yeah, that was my Friday night, and then I started feeling sick. I don't know if it was the food I ate or whatever.
could have been a number of things.
Maybe
in that
this
situation.
lady tried to poison me.
God, I wish my Friday night were that interesting.
What was your Friday night?
My Friday night was actually Friday night was the night that I came home. And we were trying to find something to watch together as a family, and we decided on Star Wars.
We as in everybody, the whole family.
As in Stephanie and I.
Okay.
And Kaylee was kind of against it from the get-go, and Melody was just kind of like, whatever. She was looking at her iPad, but then something strange started to happen, and Melody put down her iPad, and Melody focused on the screen. The moment we pointed out that there was a princess, she was kind of interested in the princess, mm-hmm. And then there was this this repeated motif of the evening, which was that Melody would say, "I'm just going to stay until they go into space," and then it was, "I'm just going to stay until they get to the princess's planet. I'm just going to stay until..."
Well, they did blow up the princess's planet.
They did, yeah. No, and it was just, it continued like that until there were basically 15 minutes left in the movie, and we're like, "Melody, there's only about 15 minutes left. Do you want to stay?" Oh, well, she has no concept of minutes, so I paused it and showed her how much was left on the little scroll bar on the screen, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll stay." So Melody, my 5-year-old, watched all of A New Hope. She watched the entire thing.
So I'm assuming she enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it. She liked it. Kaylee, on the other hand, the older one, went upstairs as soon as dinner was over. She's like, "Peace, I'm out." But not before revealing to me, and I had to shush her, not to shush her, she revealed that she knows who Darth Vader is in relation to Luke Skywalker. Now I'm going to spoil it in case there's anybody out there.
Really? There was an episode of The Simpsons where like they come out of a movie theater, like it was out of The Empire Strikes Back. It was one of those like flashback episodes,
right?
And
then Homer's have like a whole full head of hair at this point.
No, I think he was starting to go bald at that point. Right. And then like he's talking to Marge, and they come out of the movie, and he's like, "Who would have thought that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father?" And everybody in the line's like, "Fuck you, buddy," or not "fuck you," but
right, the Simpsons equivalent. Yeah, so Kaylee said something that revealed she knew who it was, and I was like, "Shh." Like, at least let's let your sister experience the movies and get to that point. And I think that may have been, and here it is, me admitting my ultimate mistake in parenting. I believe I may have showed Kaylee the prequels at some point, and that may be how she came to realize. Melody, she might have been around at some point when one of those movies was shown, but she has apparently no memory of it, so she is entering into the original trilogy completely unawares. She has seen the first one, and now we will have to show her the second one.
That's the downer one. Maybe you should wait a year.
Maybe. But I don't know. Her sister could spoil it for her in the meantime. And once she goes to school, and all the boys, she already goes to daycare. But once she goes to public kindergarten and, all this nonsense, all the boys are going to spoil it because the boys are like that. Boys suck.
Oh, really?
No.
How would you know that? From this bathroom over here that we're looking at?
That bathroom over there, yes. I have, not that I've been on the receiving end of any of that, but I have happened to walk.
You have been on the giving end.
No. I've just happened to almost walk in. I opened the door, I heard a little something, I was like, I gotta...
Jesus.
I gotta bail.
I gotta stop doing that because I keep on because it's something that Bill Burr does. And
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I've almost ripped off a Patton Oswalt bit like 3 or 4 times in the show so far.
Well, that's good.
I've stopped myself, but I almost did.
Well, you know, that brings us back to like that conversation we had before.
Before the show,
but no, not. I'm not talking about
before. Just
I'm
general
talking
before.
about the Star Wars thing.
Star Wars.
Yes,
Gotcha.
we're back on Star Wars.
Back on Star Wars.
That, you know, when Matt was showing his infant daughter
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes. That was it?
Yes.
That brings us back to that.
Brings us back to that.
I thought you had something profound.
No, I never. Oh, here, the boat is back, and they caught a million fish.
They did.
Unless
just
that's
right
a
over there
different
at the dock. I think they went over to where you get either ice or fuel. I want to say, and they're heading out towards. No, wait, are they?
I don't know.
Which way's the? Well, because like we're sitting right along the banks of I think the Piscataqua. I think this is the
Isn't
river.
it Piscataqua?
Piscataqua. I don't know. Mississippi.
We're right near the border of Maine.
Yes, we are. Looking across at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, where they used to make submarines. Might still make submarines. I don't know.
And they have the Portsmouth nuclear power plant. Or
yeah.
no, that's in Seabrook.
And they got, if you look off into the distance that away, I don't know, that away, like to your 1 o'clock, your 1 o'clock,
my 1 o'clock,
your
yes.
1 o'clock,
which is the same as
you
your
can
1 o'clock.
see the Portsmouth Naval Prison, I think is what it was.
Oh, is that where they put all the naval the people that
they
pirates?
put all the pirates and shit and shiznit.
Are there pirates on the coast of New Hampshire?
I think those guys are in Pittsburgh. I think you're thinking of Pittsburgh. I think you're thinking of the Pirates. Or Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers. Portsmouth.
I'm just going to let you flounder.
You're going to let me flounder? Flounder! I see what you did there.
Yeah.
See what we did there. So we're recording in the car. We talked about your Friday. We talked about my Friday. One of the reasons we're recording here as opposed to
either my place or your place. Your place or mine.
Is that I had a rehearsal. You were in the area.
Yes.
And it turns out my kids are stayed the night last night at my mother-in-law's. We were originally planning for them to stay a couple of nights, but in fact they can't be apart from us, I guess, right now. So as soon as we're done here, I have to get in the car. I'm already in the car.
We're in the car. I need to get out of the car.
You have to get out of the car. I have
and then
to
you
get,
can go.
I have to get up to about an hour north of here in Maine and pick up the kids.
So like near Portland?
Outside of Portland, yeah, near Sebago Lake is where. So that's to the west of Portland, almost due west. So I have to go up there and do that. That's what we did yesterday. Nothing really exciting to say there, except that I didn't learn my lines for the play, which I am rehearsing today.
Which is why we are here.
Which is why we're here.
In your car.
In my car.
Recording the podcast.
Recording the podcast. It's hard to learn lines.
I've never had to do it.
Yeah.
Because like the productions that I was in college, like the directors that, or at least at least the directors that I had worked with at my last semester, and this isn't for stage acting. This is for like
film.
Well, not necessarily film
or
because,
TV,
video acting. Because I had one of my professors in college, Professor Johnson. We called him Pro Joe. If we referred to shooting something on video as film, we would get no end of hell from him. So we would.
Pro Joe's a snob. You're saying
maybe a little
bit of film snob,
and he's also a jerk. But he was probably one of the better professors I had in college. But he was a fun jerk, kind of like I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There. I had a number of professors like that when I was in college, and because they're good for you, but at the time you don't really.
No, I realized it at the time.
Okay. All right.
I was well aware that he was a jerk, but like he was also a good dude, and I don't know. I remember one time he jumped off a chair and dropped an elbow on one of the kids in my class.
Like Macho Man Randy Savage
style?
Nice. That was always one of my, Macho Man had one of my favorite finishing moves, had one of my least favorite opening songs because he had like the prom song. Was it? Is it the prom?
Yeah, no, it was the graduation
song. Like what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, it was kind of lame. Like
Hulk Hogan's theme song, my favorite.
Yeah, his theme song was great, but he as a like I don't know. He was just kind of lame.
No. Yeah.
Last week, did I talk about it? I don't think I did. I watched the. Oh wait, no, because we recorded before I watched it. That's why I didn't talk about it. I watched the Iron Sheik documentary. On Netflix.
No, was it good?
It was really good.
Was it good?
Well, Iron Sheik is just really entertaining in general.
Yes, I would agree.
He gives zero shits at all about what he says.
That could hurt a person, to give your zero shits. I mean, you got to give a few, or you die of what? Colon can't no. If you don't give any shit.
Come on, really?
All right, Iron Sheik.
So yeah, he was just he was in Iran and Iran. How am I supposed to say it?
Iran so far away. And Iran so far away.
I just want to hit you.
Well, you're pretty close to me.
I know I could, but I don't want to we still have a decent amount of show.
We still have a decent amount of show to go, and if you hit me, it might result in some reverberations that would knock the iPad from its precarious position.
I just want to lay on the horn and scare these two people.
Oh, it would have been better if you. Those aren't the really older people. There were some older folks.
They were going to the bathroom and they probably would have shit themselves on the way in.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Iron Sheik.
So yeah, the Iron Sheik documentary was really entertaining. He started off as a sort of amateur wrestler in Iran, whatever. And then he worked for the Ayatollah for a bit.
Oh, really?
I think. I don't know who.
Khomeini?
No, not the Ayatollah. Who was? Who the fuck? I don't know.
Saddam Hussein?
No.
Al Qaeda?
No.
George Bush?
He worked for the person that was the ruler of Iran at the time.
Ronald Reagan?
No. This was in like the 60s and 70s.
Oh, okay.
And then
that's pre was it the revolution? Was it a whatever? That's
it was
before,
like pre the Jimmy Carter crap.
Yeah.
And when they the whoever, maybe it was the Ayatollah that took over in the 80s.
I think that's what it is.
Anybody that's an actual history scholar can easily refute what I'm saying right now in an email if you email us at hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yes, you can.
And say, Steve, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're saying. Right. But yeah, he was working for. Oh, it was the Shah. He worked for the Shah.
Okay.
At the time.
Got it.
And then there was some nonsense that happened, and he was like, you know what, I'm getting out of Iran, and then he came to the United States, and he actually coached the American Olympic wrestling team.
Oh. And
won a gold medal as the coach for.
Oh wow.
For the American team.
That would make sense. Because the thing is. And I don't know if I liked this particular type of wrestler more, but I was always really interested in the wrestlers in the WWF at the time, WWE now, whatever the fuck it's called, who had the more technical chops. And he was definitely someone who did. I mean, he had more grappling moves than sort of slaps against the chest or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he puts you in the camel clutch.
Yeah, that's right. Camel clutch. I was gonna say Cobra clutch. I'm glad you. It might have been called the Cobra clutch for somebody else.
Yeah,
for him
it was the camel clutch.
Yeah. So he was the coach.
Yeah, and then he started getting into professional wrestling because
in the 70s or.
Well, yeah, I mean the late 70s, and then when Vince McMahon was trying to build his giant empire, that's when he was integral to putting over Hulk Hogan,
right, in that original WrestleMania.
What's it? The guy that was the champion before Hogan.
Oh, I can't remember now.
He was just one of those classic guys, and he didn't want to lose to Hulk Hogan,
right?
Because he didn't like him.
Yes.
So, but he liked the Iron Sheik,
right? So he lost to the Sheik,
and then Hogan beat the Sheik to get the title.
Got it. Such a weird world in which people write it off because it's fake, but there's so much behind the scenes of that shit that it's still really intriguing to me.
See, I mean, I don't watch it much anymore, and I haven't.
No, I haven't watched it in years.
Like, I didn't even watch it in the heyday, like what they called the Attitude Era of the mid to late 90s or whatever.
I had friends who did, and we watched a couple WrestleManias with them around that period, or slightly after that period. But yeah, I was not watching. I think I ended with once Randy Savage and Hogan sort of left for the competing brand there. I think it
was WCW.
Sort of tuned out. Yeah.
And I mean, but the thing, like they made the right decision of like how to deal with things like that, because there was just stuff that happened that was real.
Right,
that happened around that
you're
time.
Talking about the Sheik and Hogan.
No, I'm talking about later than that.
Okay.
Like, in like prior to the Attitude Era,
right?
Because they lost most of their like wrestling stars to it was Ted Turner who owned WCW.
Yeah,
and he basically was just shelling out bucks for these guys,
right?
And then they just, like, McMahon was like, okay, we're gonna have to change things, and then they kind of dubbed it at that point Wrestling Entertainment,
right? And
kind of was like, yeah, it's fake, but
right. They did some crazy things back in the.
But yeah, we have these great like insane characters, and they they had Steve Austin, they had The Rock.
Those are the two big ones from that period, and certainly there are some lower tier guys that I'm forgetting. But
Doink the Clown.
And of course, we talked famously in an earlier episode about the guy who used to be Typhoon, who turned into
Tugboat, and then it was
Tugboat, and then he was
this wasn't on WWF.
No, this is WCW.
Yeah, it was friggin' the Shockmaster.
Yeah.
So again, if you
like that, going way back into the hot archives, last summer.
Yeah, but like again, if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen. And if you haven't seen that video, find it online. Look up the Shockmaster.
I might even include it in the show notes.
Yeah, maybe even Chris will just put a link to it.
Which would be at clarkwoods.com/hot/39.
Yeah, we're almost 40.
We're almost 40. How old is Iron Sheik? He's getting up there.
He's getting up there, and he's like, considering, like, they even talked. They like showed him in the documentary. Yeah. Like, getting drugs from somebody. Like,
oh, really?
An unspecified drug he's shown
getting undisclosed injections.
Yeah, well, not injections, but yeah, I think he was a big fan of the cocaine.
Got it.
And maybe smoking crack.
I saw a. I don't even want to say this because then I have to fucking look it up. I saw, speaking of cocaine, somebody who obviously does not like LeBron James posting this sideline clip of LeBron going over to the sidelines. I think it's the NBA playoffs right now, and it looks like somebody gives him some kind of white powder that he then either puts up his nose or rubs on his gums, and they're like, there's a legit explanation for what the hell it is, but they were making fun that, or maybe there's not. I don't know. They were saying, well, they're joking that it was cocaine.
When I lived down south, there was when I would go to the grocery store or whatever, and they would have like the gum at the register or whatever. They would also have like headache powder.
Ah, okay, got it.
And it was something that you would just.
It was a little bit of cocaine.
It was not cocaine. It was headache powder. It was basically like ground up like acetaminophen or ibuprofen.
You ever done cocaine?
I've never done cocaine.
Yeah, no, me neither. Of course, I haven't.
I don't have the best heart in the world.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like, it's good that I never did.
Right.
But
now you definitely.
Now that I'm, now that I know, I definitely can never do it.
Yeah.
But thanks for putting me on the spot.
Well, I could have edited it out.
Yeah. No, I have never done
cocaine.
And it's on the record now because I said it on a podcast.
Yes, because everything we say here is true. Everything we say here is admissible in a court of law.
Is that true?
No.
I think they probably.
Probably.
I don't know why my voice did that when I asked.
Well, there's a guy, John Roderick, who is the co-host of a show I listen to called Roderick on the Line.
And has he done cocaine?
He is not. That's a good question. He might have.
We should have him on the show and ask all about his
so he is
drug proclivities.
He is running for. He was the singer-songwriter of a band called the Long Winters. So there's probably a good chance that he did some drugs in his life.
Well, sometimes like I have friends that are in bands that are totally straight edge.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. So, but I know he's done other drugs. I just don't know for sure if he's done the cocaine. He is running for city council in Seattle.
Wow!
And it's been an interesting listening to the discussion of whether or not they're going to try to change the format of their podcast, and they're not. Because he's brutally, bluntly honest and says some things that you could picture in a bigger race than something like city council coming out and being used in ads against him. But he's like, no, this is me. Seattle, in his description, is a sort of liberal stronghold. It's really just variations on the same person, same belief system. So I think he can probably get away with it, Seattle City Council. If he were running for president, some of the things that he said on his podcast could probably be used against him.
Yeah,
Similar to you and me when we do the Clark Woodbury or is it the Woodbury Clark ticket? Are you the top of the ticket?
Do you want me to be the top of the ticket? Do you think I have more charisma than you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
I am. I don't know if that would ever work. Let's set our sights a little bit less lofty.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be moving back to Massachusetts, right?
Yes, I'm going to be moving back to Massachusetts.
So we'll try for when Charlie Baker's number has been matched,
governor.
we'll go after the governor.
Lieutenant governor. Okay.
Actually, I wouldn't mind being the lieutenant governor.
The lieutenant.
The lieutenant governor that is like my dream job because it's basically a non-job, so I can do whatever I want.
Okay. That's the kind of job you want, is to not have a job.
I do want to have a job
because you want the money. You want the. But
basically, getting paid to do what I want is what I want.
Gotcha. That's what I want.
Unfortunately, that's impossible in most cases, and so I have to do the regular Joe job, and then we can do this, which is fun,
right?
Which we make no money doing,
right? This is true.
Because no one seems to understand that there's a thing on the show notes at the very bottom that you can donate fucking money to
So
us.
I was looking at somebody else's show. I'm going to try to see if there's a way. I've actually gotten, as we've talked about in the past, I've gotten compliments on our show notes. But I feel like maybe the bottom of the show notes is too busy. And so I was looking at somebody else's show notes recipe, if you will. And it's like, maybe that's a better way to
put it up at the top?
No, the bottom of his show notes was simpler. And it was the way that he phrased his call to give them funds. I don't know. So there's that.
And I'm definitely going to plug it again. And I'll probably plug it every week until forever, until Dan and I are millionaires. We have...
because there are other ways of getting us money individually. Like they can do my Patreon and they can do TNS.
You can give Dan and I some cash. By buying The Ape's Choice, which is our third album out of 3 so far.
You're 3 for 3.
3 for 3. We only have one on.
Only one
available for sale, and it's called The Ape's Choice. Go to iTunes. Go to Google Play. Go to Amazon. I think it's Spotify. What is this guy just leaped out of the bathroom?
That's a little weird.
He had a spring in his step, maybe because he launched a poo out.
He launched a poo out. It propelled him right out into the world to continue on with his day.
Yeah, he has less stink on him.
Yeah.
But yes, go to all these places. Buy a copy on each of them. I don't care.
You can't buy it on Spotify. You can only listen to it on Spotify.
Okay, well, fuck Spotify.
Actually, I don't know. I went and when you mentioned it last week, I was going to go and see if it was on Spotify, but Spotify wanted me to install Spotify, and I was just like, fuck you, just show me on your goddamn website.
Yeah, well, the 3 that I said before are the ones that people are most likely to
Amazon, Google, and iTunes. I'll link them up in the show notes again.
Yeah, every week. Just link it up there. Give Chris some friggin' money for writing shit, and give us for this amazing album that was a lot of hard work from Dan,
years and
a little bit of hard work from me.
A little bit, just a smidgen. Smidge apparently is not a real word, but smidgen is.
I don't know why.
I don't know why that is.
Or why you even brought it up.
Because I said just a smidge. You did a smidge of work, and I had to correct myself. You did a smidgen of work.
I did a smidgen of work.
Smidgen.
All right, what else is on the list?
Well, the only other thing that's on this list.
Well, you did talk about learning lines.
I did talk about learning lines,
but I got us horribly off topic, so we can go back on
Let's go back to that because I have been having a really hard time learning lines, and so we had a rehearsal today, and we basically spent the 2.5 hours mostly just running lines. We did some of the blocking, some whatever, but we just sort of hammered home a couple of scenes, and I think we're in good shape there. But I don't know, I'm finding it way harder to learn lines than I ever have before, and I wanted to ask you because you have done stand-up.
No, wait, I realized why I changed the subject.
That's right.
Because like in the productions that I was on video, which is why I changed the subject, because we started talking about Projo, and I have no idea where we went from there. The directors that worked with me knew that I had trouble remembering lines, they basically kind of gave me like an improv. Well, like they gave me an idea of what I should do as a character.
Got it.
And then they were like, "This is you. This is your character. Go." And I was like, "Okay." And then I would go with it for a while, and I'm like, "That's great. Do exactly that." And then another time it was more of a studio production. We were inside, it was just like an interview segment where I was the one getting interviewed. So the girl that's there is asking me questions, and this is like an idea that I had for my production, but I never got to do it because I flaked out like when I did mine because I just didn't have a better idea.
Got it.
But then like I had it like shortly afterwards. The ending reveal was my favorite part, but so it starts off and she's asking me questions, and then I sort of take over the interview and start asking her questions, and then like I start spewing nonsense for a while, which was pretty entertaining, and I remember the professor of the course thought it was really funny, and then the reveal is we're not facing each other and not looking at each other. And so, because like the entire time we're doing the interview, we're doing the one shot of the person asking the question and the one shot of the
so
person.
You save the wide or
the wide shot, the two shot is never used through the entire interview until the last shot where it's like we're sitting in opposite directions. And so basically, we had a little bit of we put some gaffer's tape where where it looked like we were actually looking at each other, and it actually made it a lot easier for us to do this because we're not like staring at each other, and there was parts where if she was looking at me she might have like cracked up laughing, but it worked out really well, and it was like, and I'm like, hey, you get to have the guy that was like my friend Lee was the person that was the director that time, and he basically got all the benefits of my really good idea.
But not you.
Yeah. Well, I was acting in it, so it worked. But and then the other one was it was this production where we were similar to our circumstances right now.
You were in a car.
We were shooting in a car, so I was sitting in the back, like in the middle of the back seat.
Right.
And the two other actors were the person that was driving and the person in the passenger seat. And so there was a person sitting on the floor in the front seat on the passenger side, shooting both the driver and the passenger, whoever was speaking at the time, and then occasionally getting me. And then there was another person in the back, like shooting me from a certain angle, like from like here, like where the headrest is, and just like putting the camera like right there,
on the
just to see,
right beside the headrest.
And so it was very cramped production, and things were going really well because of the fact they were like you don't have lines, you're just saying a bunch of stuff as this person, and it was working really great. And then we got to my one scripted line.
Okay.
Which I can remember now. I may have spoke about this before, but we're gonna get it again. My one scripted line was, "I'll tell you what's really important: a human's ability for compassion and emotion." And I remember it now, and I will remember it for the rest of time. But in that part where I had to start saying the line at a certain point where we were driving, and then I had to finish the line at another point, and then they pull me out of the car and kill me. That happened at a lot of productions in college.
You got killed.
That I got killed.
All right.
In one of the films I was in. Was
it a film or a video?
This was in fact film.
All right.
One of the films I was in, I definitely got killed at the end. And it was actually our first foray into doing film, and it was actually a really good day for it.
Yeah.
It was a day similar to today where it's overcast.
Yeah.
And when you're shooting film, it's different than when you're shooting video.
Right.
You need to really consider light. And
yeah.
I mean, it's important for video too, but it's more important for film because you're exposing the film, and that's what makes it happen, and all that jazz. So basically, we're taking light meter readings to see how far the aperture should be open.
Yeah.
To take the shot, and there's pretty decent light dispersion when there's an overcast day. So we didn't have to change the aperture very much, and so all the outdoor shots of that day were pretty easy to shoot because of that.
Got it.
So back to the other one. We're back in the car. I keep on messing it up. I keep on messing up my line, and one of the worst / best times I screwed up was when I go, "I'll tell you what's really important," and then there's a couple of beats, and I go, "Computers."
Because yeah.
And so that kind of made us all laugh for way too long. And then, we were losing daylight, and they're like, "Dude, we need to get this right,
please."
Because we were shooting in this cramped car.
Right?
Could you fucking say I had it written on the headrest. It was right in front of me. I could read it, and I still couldn't get it fucking right.
Oh my God!
So one of these days, I need to learn how to learn lines. So you're gonna have to teach me how to learn lines. Maybe you can put me in one of your plays.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna do a play again. So that's.
Oh, come on! Why don't you be a negative Nancy?
I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm saying if I'm a short story writer, we haven't talked about this. I guess I've been thinking a lot about it because my play. Maybe we did talk about it. My play got rejected, and I'm sitting here going, if I really want to be the play that I wrote, that is, I'm still acting in a play. Sorry for the confusion. If I'm going to be a short story writer, if that's my focus, then I should really focus on that. And I'm finding it so hard to learn lines for this play, and I find it really hard to apparently to write a script that the one theater I like to work with wants to pick. So do I really want to keep investing my time in writing scripts when I don't seem to be getting anywhere with it, when I could just keep writing stories?
So here's what I think you should do. If you enjoy doing what you're doing, if you enjoy writing short stories, if you have an idea for a play and you enjoy writing it, then it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. Yeah, no. I mean, I enjoyed far more than the first draft. I enjoyed writing the draft of the play that was rejected this time. I like it. I've heard whisperings of a little bit of feedback. I'm hoping once things calm down from the play I'm in now, I will go get some actual straight from the horses' mouths feedback. And I enjoyed writing it. But I don't know what I would write again. So anyway, yes, if I ever write another play, if I ever direct another play, I will write a small part for you so you can learn how to learn lines.
Yeah.
But what I want to know from you is
your original question.
My original question was you were able, to some extent, to be able to remember your jokes when you were doing stand up, right?
Well, the thing is, when I would when I would have a set. Actually, right over yonder is where I performed my longest set, and I wrote it like you would do a crib note.
Ah, got it. Yeah. But you don't have the whole joke on there.
No, I just basically write what the joke is.
Got it.
And it basically gets me to the next point. Right. And I'm really bad. You witness the performance. I'm really bad about my segues because I'll be like, all right, what did I write next? All right, this.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever, and then I just start talking about it.
Yeah.
And so that's the way my brain works. If I have something to just say, hey, here's a thing.
Right.
here's the thing to remember what you had, like, and sometimes, like, I'd forget parts of a joke, and then I'd be like, oh, that's a bummer, because that's a really funny part. Because, like, that joke that I had with the the Krispy Kreme joke with the dead grandma. Like that, like one of the times that I told the joke, I forgot to tell the part, or to say the part where I dry my tears off with the donut, which is a really funny part.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm like, you get a sweet and savory flavor, because like the ending part of the joke is that I lost my virginity to a donut, and then I say again the sweet and savory flavor. So, like, this part, sometimes you forget things, and it's just like, the joke's still funny, but it's not as funny.
Yeah, people get even if you miss a critical part, if you're any good, they get the rhythm of the thing, and then they go, I might have missed something, but they still laugh.
Yeah.
It's funny you say, like, you just needing that trigger, because I think one of the problems, especially the first scene that I was learning today, was that I have the first lines. And so literally, like, the start of the play is the trigger, and if I don't remember those first lines, then the play doesn't start. And I've got a few scenes like that. Maybe I have the first lines of the play. I also have the last lines of the play, But once you get into the meat of a scene and somebody's feeding you a line, that I find way easier, because I'm able to remember what the hell I'm supposed to say in response to what they're saying.
Yeah, so if you ever write a character for me, make sure I'm not starting or ending the play.
All right.
Like, hello, everyone.
Hello.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying right now, but I'm here, I'm saying things to you, and then hopefully someone will come along and stop me.
Yeah. Well, one thing I have thought about, I like writing short stories. I have also liked writing short plays, and I wondered whether or not I might do an evening of short plays that were all kind of connected. So that's something I've toyed with. And in that case, one of the problems I've been told with the play that's now been rejected twice is that it doesn't have a great climax. You ever been told that you don't provide a great climax?
Yes.
So I've thought about maybe writing smaller ones, because I haven't had as many problems with my smaller ones. So
I wish that I was able to convey the looks that I occasionally give.
That's why you need film or video.
We're not putting this on film. No. That'll be expensive as shit.
So the last thing that I had on my list was, so when this episode comes out, it will be April 27th.
Yes.
My wedding anniversary is April 28th.
Wow.
It will be
congratulations.
14 years.
Wow.
So the day after this comes out will be 14 years.
I was there at your wedding.
And that was my question. I was like, I think Steve was there. Was Steve there?
I was. But you know why you didn't see me there?
Why didn't I see you there?
Because I was the person that was taking the video of your wedding.
I did not remember that. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, the thing, and the reason I wanted to bring this up, and I'm sure particularly parts of the bachelor party have probably come up before. Maybe not, because we've talked about strip clubs certainly enough.
Yeah, but
maybe
we don't need to not talk about them. I mean, like, we had a little bit of a ban on them for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like I'm banning Foley artists,
right?
Right. Because I was talking to somebody about it recently, and I'm like, what do Foley artists do? They make things sound like other things. What you do is wave a piece of paper near a microphone.
It makes
like,
it
this is
like
paper.
Well, so the reason among my female friends, and I have way, I think it's probably not exaggerating.
I must have way more hot air because I'm steaming up my side of the car.
I have way more female friends than I have male friends, and in particular have stayed in touch with more of the female friends that were at the wedding, and they have all sort of universally said over the years that it was one of the best weddings that they've been to, and they have such great memories, and and when I talk to my male friends who I am still in touch with from that time, it's not that they don't think of it as fun. First of all, I don't think a man is ever on his own going to say, yeah, that was one of the best weddings I've ever been to. Like, it's just not something that's going to happen. But every guy I've talked to who was at the wedding, whether we're talking about the the pre-festivities, the bachelor party and stuff like that, or the wedding itself, or right after the wedding, has stories of debauchery of some form or the other. And I thought, since I'm celebrating the whole experience of having been married, I wonder what are the craziest things you remember from that couple of days?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Like most men,
Yeah.
I don't remember much of the wedding itself. I remember. Was it in Dracut?
The wedding itself was in Hollis, New Hampshire.
Okay, never mind. So
a
that's
place
not far from
called-
Dracut then.
No, not far. It's a place called Alpine Grove, and it was outside. So most people's memories of it was April 28th, and if you know New England, you know that April 28th could be in like the 70s. It could also be in like the 50s. So it was a morning wedding, and it was cold.
Yeah, it was a little bit of chill in the
A
air.
little bit chilly.
And I remember the function hall afterwards, and
Yes.
you guys dancing around like.
Yeah. There was booze. It was not an open bar. We were not that well off, but there was a bar, and there was a lot of alcohol consumed. Not by me, sadly. Also, not a lot of food consumed by me, but that's par for the course when you get married. Do you remember drinking at all? Did you
I
drink at
remember
all?
I remember the bachelor party more than I remember
Okay.
I remember going to Matthews.
Bachelor party. Were you in the car when my brother picked me up from You and my brother picked me up from like Alewife?
Yes.
Okay.
We
so-
were in traffic for so long at Route 3, and I think this is prior to when they widened.
Yes. No, because they were widening it. They were in the process of widening it when we went on our honeymoon.
So yeah, it was just we were in getting local for you again at the end of it's not the end of Route 3 South, but like when Route 3 South meets 128/95.
Yes.
Is just
One of my least favorite places on earth.
a clusterfuck
Yes.
of terrible, and like getting onto Route 3 if you're coming from 128 or getting onto 128
Right,
from
it's
Route
just
3
a-
is just
It's
gross.
slightly better if you're going 95 south at that point, only slightly.
We probably would have done better to go on Route 2
Right.
for a really long time
Yeah.
and gone that way to get you to
Yeah,
Alewife.
yeah.
But whatever, we picked you up. We got you.
That's right.
We got you a little bit hammered.
Yeah, because we went to Outback was where we went for dinner, and I recall that I was asked to. Not asked. We went down the drink list. I think we started in the mixed drink list because I'm, a fruity drinker.
Yeah.
We started.
You could have just stopped at fruity.
We started midway down the drink list at Outback, or the fruity drinks. Went all the way down, and somebody had figured out the way to order the drink with an extra shot of whatever was in it. There's a term for it at Outback.
I think it's probably like Bonza or Foster's or
something like that.
Foster, of course, it's gonna be Foster's.
Yeah, so we went down the list, and then because we'd started in the middle, everyone was like, "You got to go back to the top and have the other two." I think I had one of every mixed drink that was on their. I mean,
Did you
not
get sick that night?
I did not get sick that night.
Wow, that's a miracle.
No, I was very buzzed. Maybe drunk as we were getting
That's
ready.
weird though. We went to Outback, and then we went back to your parents' place, and then we went to the strip club. I thought.
See, I ended up whatever car I was in. I think at this point, you and my brother maybe went back to my parents' house, but whatever car I was in, we went straight to the strip club. I think.
Okay.
And then other people started to show
I
up.
remember being with you. I think I was in your dad's car.
Yeah, because he was not part of it until later. He and my uncle Bill and my cousin Bill were up from North Carolina and had maybe just arrived that afternoon or something. And I think so that might have been why you guys went. But so I
don't remember this Outback business, so I don't think I was there for that.
Oh, maybe you weren't.
I think I was there just for boobs and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, so I got drunk at Outback, and then from what I've heard, there was some smoking of the doobage in one of the cars.
It wasn't with me and
Okay.
John and your dad.
But my friend Larson, last name, he
Gary Larson?
No. I won't say his first name because whatever. But we all called him Larson. He and a guy named Metal Mike, who was not even attending the wedding, but he was there for the bachelor
was a robot.
party.
That's why they called him Metal.
No, yes, that's why. They, I think, were in the car where there was a lot of weed being smoked, and whoever was in the car with them, I think, ended up with some kind of a contact high. That's what I recall. But then the boobs.
Didn't you went up to the private room?
I did, and
I'd never been to the private room. Like Matthews is no longer a strip club.
No, it's like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, it's in Tingsboro, Massachusetts, right near the New Hampshire line,
right next to the Skate 3.
Yeah, right next to Skate 3.
It's funny that I spent the early part of my teenage years, the late part of my teenage years. At Skate 3 and at the Roller Kingdom, and then once I turned 21, I just went next door and spent time there.
We used to go there on Sunday nights. Like we used to go to my friends had a house in Chelmsford, like up the street from your folks' place.
Yeah.
And we would watch The Simpsons and whatnot,
and then
we'd go to Matthews,
see the boobs,
because they had no cover on Sundays.
Oh, okay, yeah. They I did. I went upstairs to the private area, and I had a picture that I still had for years. I don't think I have it anymore. This is what freaks me out. I had a picture of whoever I knew her name for years too. Like I kept it in the back of my mind. There was a touring performer. How some porn stars will go out and they'll do feature dancing around the country. So whoever it was that night, I want to say it was Nikki something, but I can't remember what. I had a picture of her sitting on my lap that my brother paid for, clothed. I think it probably cost extra for naked or for a private dance or whatever it was. So I had a picture of her clothed sitting on my lap that I had for the longest time. It was tucked into some sort of dirty book or dirty movie that I had that I think I've gotten rid of. And now what occurs to me is that photo of me, that Polaroid of me is out there in because I don't know if I recycled
There are much more scandalous Polaroids that have been distributed.
Not
over
of
time.
Me though.
Yeah, I know, but there's like a porn star sitting on your lap with all her clothes on.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be okay. I don't think if we do run for president or governor or whatever,
that will be in trouble.
I think we'll be in trouble because we could probably do that on the campaign trail.
That's true.
Hey, half nude ladies, we have laps.
Well, so yeah, there was boobs, there was lots of drinking. My favorite anecdote of the night, and this is probably a good place to wrap up, was that one of my friends who was there, who was in the wedding party, was a gay man, and he was there. Just sort of like drinking, participating. When at one point somebody ordered a dual lap dance or dual private dance, two ladies at once. He was sitting right next to me and next to someone else, and when the two ladies started dancing together, doing sort of faux lesbian type stuff, even my gay friend was not. It worked on him. He turned to somebody else. He turned to somebody else, and he's like, "I may be gay, but that's hot."
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So I mean, my batch. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why everyone has such fond memories. Is that we were able to entertain at a strip club, even my gay best friend.
Aw. Well, that's great. Let's hope for another 14 years.
14 years of
maybe I don't know if Steph's going to be okay with this, but maybe one of these days, because considering how many times we've talked about strip clubs,
we should go.
We should actually go to one.
It's
in
research
the
for the show.
Oh, I have to like another part of this weekend that didn't get to happen that I was hoping would.
Okay.
We were driving through. I think we're in Salisbury, and they have Tens in Salisbury proper.
Right. Yeah.
But they have another club that's like further away.
Oh, okay.
But this weekend, and we've missed it now, so sorry. You'll have to go and pick up your wife and kids instead.
Well, my wife's at home. My kids are married.
Okay. You'll have to go pick up your
my kids instead. Yeah.
But Bridget the midget was at this club Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, and we missed it. This isn't the one outside, not at 10's, but it's
not at 10's. It's another club, and I forget what it's called.
Got it.
And I was like, well, we should just go there. And we kept on getting the downvote from the ladies that was around. I don't know why.
I have
no idea.
No idea. Yeah, well, we'll have to go and do some research. I mean, there is the one that is right down the street from where I live right now. And I'm not going to live there for very much longer.
Well, we should do that one of the last times we record up there.
Yeah, we'll
go up to the Gold Club or whatever.
The former Mox Showplace, which was such a much better, more fun name to say.
Well, the Gold Club there was one in Cary that had the same name.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I have. Have I ever told the stories about the Gold?
Probably did. I
went to a bachelor party there a few years after my own bachelor party, and had a grand old time. And I think but might be wrong, there's a Gold Club in New Orleans where I also had a grand old time.
Nolans.
So, if we ever
go down there, we're definitely gonna have to have Brian on the show.
That's right.
Because
we'll go on tour.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll do
we'll stop it.
We'll ride a fun slide of America. You know what? I'm gonna get on winning the lottery, and then we'll have this be our job.
We'll just drive around the country.
Not drive.
Fly around the country.
There you go.
We'll fly.
I don't want to do as much as I have fun recording with you every week. I don't want to fucking be in a car across the entire country with you.
Yeah. Not like right now.
Well, for an hour while we're not moving, it's fine.
Okay. You want to get in the back seat now that we're done?
No. Don't be a creep. Plugs.
You can find me on Twitter at ECC1977.
And you can find me on Twitter at TuesdayIsLoser. That's at TuesdayIsLoser.
And, of course, as we shed.
Well, right after the show, after you pick up the kids, we're going to buy and build a shed.
Yeah, we're going to build a shed.
As we shed.
Show notes for this episode can be found at clarkwoods.com/hot/3939.
So, yeah, contribute to the Patreon for Chris.
Buy the fucking TNS album right now.
Buy The Ape's Choice on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, whatever you
all three
choose,
of them.
Or all three, yeah.
You're not a real fan unless you buy it everywhere.
Yep. You're wicked lame. And so, the time is here, and then I'm going to stop
recording this thing.